Hello all, welcome to this course on ISTQB Foundation Level Examination Preparation. This is a final video in this chapter on the context, that is fundamentals of testing. In this fundamentals of testing, this is the last topic, that is psychology of testing. In the psychology of testing, you will be learning two two topics. One is human psychology and testing, and testers and developers mindset. So at the end of this video, you will come to know what would be the mindset of the developers and testers, and what you should, being a tester, how your mindset should be. So these are the two things will be get clear at the end of the video. Let's see, human psychology and testing. See, this is a developer. So developer's intention is to make it, let's make it, but tester intention is to let's break it. So that means testers and developer is always an enemy, or did he has any issues in his you know in his previous lives or something like that? Nothing. So what developers want, he have to do some product that given by the customers requirement, and he'll do, say for example, some 100 lines of code he'll do. So that's what his intention, to let's make it. And tester's intention is to let's break it, means is it something he will do some bad things to the code to make it harm, or he'll hack the code to make it not run? Is it something like that? No, definitely not. So he'll break it means he'll find some issues in the code. He'll find some issues, and once he finds an issues, what will happen is definitely developers has to change the code, change the product if it is a valuable defect, if it is a accepted or a valid defect. So that is meaning for break it. And also both are working to give a quality product to the customer. It's not like they are fighting each other. So that is the first thing you have to understand. All right, so let's start with this. Identifying the defects during the static testing or even a dynamic testing. Okay, so that will be seems like a criticism of the product, or sometimes to an author, but it is not. Say for example, what I try to mean is, see, the customer is giving us, say I'm a developer. Customer is giving a product. Customer's requirement is to draw a cow. So I am trying to draw a cow. I'm a developer. I'm drawing a cow. Okay, so I'm drawing a cow. Yeah. So I have I'll tell like I have drawn a cow, and you are a tester. You are a tester, and what is your mindset is? So before that, let's see the another point. An element of, so this will be your understood, right? So it's a criticism. So first point is like whatever the author has done or the developer has done, the reviewer is, when he is giving, it will be perceived as a criticism of the product. Sometimes criticism of the author also. All right. So if you are if you are finding some issues on my code, so maybe I'll feel like you are not criticizing my product. I feel like you are criticizing me. That is a human psychology. All right. So the next point is an element of a human psychology called confirmation bias. Actually, for the confirmation bias only, I've drawn this diagram. I mean, I'll I made this scenario. Let's see. So confirmation bias. Confirmation bias means, I'll just explain you. Don't read this. I'll explain you confirmation bias. Customer gave to draw cow because I'm an artist. He believes, and he gave me to draw a cow. And as a developer, I've drawn a cow, and I believe this is a cow. This is my confirmation bias. So as per my confirmation bias, this is a cow, and you are a tester. By looking at this, you are telling it looks like an elephant. So I'll tell you, no, no, I'm telling you, no, no, boss, this is a cow. This is a cow. You are telling, no, this is an elephant. This is your confirmation bias. So whoever confirmation bias is correct or not depends. Maybe yours is right or mine is right, but that is a matter. But both will have this confirmation bias. That is what the human psychology. You understand? You're getting point. Fine. So that's what here they try to mean. An element of the human psychology called confirmation bias can make it difficult to accept the information that disagrees with the currently held beliefs. So that the belief what I had is, I'm really difficult to accept the information that is against me. Since the developers expect their code to be a correct, they have a confirmation bias that makes it difficult to accept that code is incorrect. See, that's what I'm a developer, and I'm really, it's hard for me to accept it. But still, as a time keep on going, what I'll do is I'll just get some inputs from reviewer comments from you, that is a tester. Like what you are telling is, your the mouth should be small, and the leg should be thin, and you should have some hump in this. So what these things you are giving, so I'll keep on try to change it. At the end, will get a cow as per their customer. So this process has to go in a constructive way, not in a kind of a battle, not in kind of a fighting way. That's what the overall things is. All right, so let's look into the summary. In addition to the confirmation bias, other cognitive biases make it difficult for people to understand or accept the information produced by testing. So it's hard to accept because see, know I really struggled myself. I really made this drawing as a tough for me. But you just simply looking at this, you are giving some comments. So I'll not accept it. So this is a common mindset of the people. Further, it is a common human trait to blame the bearer of the bad news, and information produced by the testing often contains a bad news. Definitely, whatever you'll give is bad news only for me. So it seems like you are completely, blaming on me. That would be the mindset. As a result of these psychological factors, some people may perceive the testing as a destructive activity. So what I'll think is I don't want this testing. I'll tell like without testing only I can work properly. Like that would be mindset. So what happens without testing? So the customer is asking cow, but I'm giving elephant. So is it good for the organization? Definitely no. That's what the testing is. It should be considered as a constructive way that your developers has to understand. But being a tester, you can't able to make your developer to understand. So you should understand how your psychology will be. Let's see on a upcoming slides. All right. So perceived testing as a destructive activity, even though it contributes greatly to the project progress and product quality. To try to reduce this perception, the information about the defects and failures should be communicated in a constructive. This you can do. So you can't change the mindset of the developer, but what you can do is you can communicate the defect in a constructive way. You have to convey like, boss, yes, it is fine, it's super. You have to tell like, yeah, this cow is perfect, super. But small changes you have to do. What are the changes? So little bit you just remove this and make it small, make it thin, make it thin, then give one hump. Like this you have to talk in a constructive way, rather telling like this is not at all a cow. You should the way of approaching, the way of describing also should be considerable. And also one more thing, no developers will draw bad like me. Of course, if they give as a cow, they'll just try to match like a cow. They'll not give like a elephant. Okay, just for your better understanding I have given this. So this way tensions between the testers and analysts, product owners, designers, developers can be reduced if you are going in a constructive way. Testers and the test managers need to have a good interpersonal skills to able to communicate effectively about defects, failures, everything. So it should be able to communicate effectively. This is an important point. You should know. You should learn how to talk in a constructive way, how to communicate effectively when you are dealing with the failures and all. So what are the way? Yeah, I said you should. So what are all those? Let's see here. Start with a collaboration rather than battles. So you should talk like a collaborative, like we are working for a same product. So in that way you should talk. So we are delivering the same product. If the product goes wrong, it is not only screw for you, it's for me also. So that you have to communicate in such a proper way. Emphasize the benefits of testing. For example, for the authors, defect information can help them improve their products and their skills. Definitely, if they correct the mistakes in this iteration, the next time they will not do the same mistake. So obviously their skill set will keep on increases. For the organization, defects found and fixed during the testing will save time, money, and reduce the overall risk. So that's what. If the thing is happening between the testers and developers, definitely the organization will be safe. If not, then the organization will not get projects, then you will not get job. Communicate test results and other findings is a neutral, fact focused way without criticizing the person who created the defect again and again. As you are a tester, you are learning, being a tester, you are learning this. So you should not make the test developers to get angry. You should talk in a neutral way without criticizing him, but you have to give your feedback in a constructive way. Write objective and factual defects reports and review findings. So everything you have to write in a proper documentation. Try to understand how the other person feels, the reason they may react negatively to the information. So that's what, if you someone pointing out you how you feel, you have to think in such a way when you are raising an defect. And final point is confirm that the other person has understood what has been said and vice versa. So when you are communicating about the failures or the defect, you have to understand that you have to ensure, and vice versa. When he is giving something, you should understand. So that's all about this human psychology and testing. And the other one is testers and developers mindset. So very important. So developers and testers often think differently. Yes, that's one of the thing, right? So if the same product or same requirement, he'll think in different way, he'll think in different way. The point when they both together, the product will be a perfect product, at least 99%. The primary objective of the development, so development is to design and build a product, and the objective of the testing is to finding the defect in the product. So both have a opposite mindset. There are different sets of objectives, requires a different mindsets. Bringing these mindset together helps achieve the higher level of the product quality. That's what the same I said. A tester's mindset should be include curiosity, professional pessimism, a critical eye, attention to a detail, and motivation for the good and positive communication relationship. So these are all should be the characters of the good tester. Testers mindset tend to grow and mature as tester gain experience. So definitely if you are 4 or 5 years of experience tester, if you think what you did in your first or second year, you will really laugh at you. So that means your maturity has to be. The developer's mindset may include some of the elements of the tester's mindset, but successful developers, see, these are one main thing. So a normal developer may think the tester is their enemy. Same vice versa. The normal tester will think a developer is their enemy. But actually, when the people is thinking like they are working for a same product and they will give a 100% good product as per their effort, then there the good tester and the developer mindset makes them mature. So that's what it is. Successful developers are often more interested in designing and building solutions than in com- contemplating what might be wrong with the solution. So that's what they will. The successful developers will always think on developing their own skills and their product, or rather, they will not contemplating. That is, they'll not make. They'll not justify. They'll not try to justify. That's what they are trying to do. In addition, confirmation bias. You know, right? Confirmation bias, the elephant curve. It is make difficult to become aware of errors committed by themselves with the right mindset. Developers are able to test their own code. Even see, developers can able to test their own code, but as because of the confirmation bias, they can't able to find the defects. For that, testers is required in the organization. Different software development lifecycle models often have a different ways of organizing the testers and test activities. As some of the tests are done by the independent testers, increase the defects, so blah blah blah. So this is again, it's not an important point. All right, and the final one is independent testers. So independent testers means you are not dependent with the developers. There is no interaction, or it doesn't have a dependency with the codes. That's what independent testers bring a perspective which is different than the work product, that is authors, either business analysts, product owners, designers, and developers, since they have a different cognitive biases from the author. So because rather these people, so there's independent testers which is not in with not part of these people, so they'll have their different mindset. They can able to crack, um break the code and get more defects. That's all about this mindset. I hope this helps you a lot, and if you have any queries, please feel free to connect. We'll get back in the next chapter. Until then, bye, take care.